There's something about old houses in the fall. The way the air feels still, like the walls are holding their breath, remembering. Our home was built in 1938, but long before it ever held our family, it held stories of its own. It wasn't always a home. It was once a little mom and pop grocery store. The kind where neighbors stopped by for flour and sugar or a cold soda after church. There was an old gas pump on the front porch, and people passing through would stop for a fill-up and maybe step inside for a chat. The little room on the side of the house was the feed room, stacked high with bags of grain and carrying a big kerosene tank for the farmers nearby. There used to be a barn out by the driveway, full of hay and garden tools, and upstairs above the store was the living space. The family who ran the store lived right here, above it. The parents, their children, all sharing one big open room above the store. Our neighbor actually grew up here. His grandparents built the store and ran it for years, until his parents took it over. He's told us stories like how cold it would get upstairs in the winters. There wasn't a wood stove up there, so the only heat came from the one downstairs. He remembers running down the outside stairs on frosty mornings straight into the store, curling up beside the stove before school, waiting for the store to open. Now, almost a century later, it's our family filling these same rooms. Our first winter here, we cozied up beside the wood stove too. The kids would sled down the hill in the backyard, cheeks red, snow stuck in their mittens, and they'd come in to warm themselves by the fire. Sometimes I sit here looking around at our living room and dining room, the same space that was once the store, and I imagine where the counter might have been, the cash register, the shelves lined with groceries. I picture people stepping through the old doors that aren't here anymore, and I think about all the lives that brushed through this space. The laughter, the conversations, the smell of kerosene and coffee. Old cars pulling up when this was still just a dirt road. Men in their Sunday best, stopping in for a soda. Children running in for a handful of candy that probably cost them a nickel. I think that's part of what makes this place feel so special. You can almost feel the history in the walls. And maybe that's what sparked something in me. Because it was here, in this house, this old house, that I really started making things from scratch. Maybe it's the country feel of the place. Or maybe just a longing for a slower, simpler way of living. But as I knead dough in the kitchen, I can't help but wonder about the first loaf of bread that was ever baked in this house. It would have been upstairs, back when that was the family's kitchen. And now it's me, kneading the dough, watching the kids peek around the corner, waiting for that first warm slice. The smell of fresh bread fills the house, just like it probably did all those years ago. This house has changed a lot over time. The shelves are gone, the barn's long disappeared, and the dirt road's been paved. But it still holds the same warmth, the same kind of life. We're just another chapter in its story. And I like to think that's how life works. We're all building on what came before, turning old foundations into new beginnings. This house reminds me every day how precious simple things are. A warm fire, a homemade meal, the laughter of my children echoing through these old walls. It's easy to dream of more, a bigger house, a different story. But lately, I've felt the Lord nudging me to see the beauty right here. He places us exactly where we need to be in the moment. Even if it's an old store, now filled with the smell of pot pie and the sound of little feet running across creaky floors. Every season leaves its mark on this house, just like every family that's ever lived here. And I hope when our time here has passed, we'll have left behind the same kind of warmth that someone else can feel, the way I do every fall.